Welcome to the first episode ever of Life NDR podcast show. In this podcast, we're going to be a little different. We're going to bring you the lives and experience of people that choose to make DR their new homes. How is that going to be? Well, every week, including myself and a special guest, we're going to talk about experience NDR, what it's like, what we recommend, and the things that's happening here. So for me, we'll start off, it's a little different for me being Haitian and living in Dominican Republic. There's a lot of things that's happening around me, to me, but I choose to make it the best I can. And this is where we're going to share these different things with you because we want you to be aware and also educated. And if you choose to visit Dominican Republic or even want to move down here, we hope we can help you through this podcast and also communicate with you where if you have answers and so on, we can go ahead and connect. So let's talk about it. How is life in DR for a person like me? For me particularly, it was not my choice, but here we are now and we're making the best of it. So being in Haitian, born, raised in the States, I spent 28 years in my life in the States, and unfortunately things happened and there was a journey made for me. And throughout that journey, I've had amazing time, amazing opportunities, but here we are in DR. Now, I work in tech, I have my foundation I build, and then from here we are with this brand new podcast we're bringing to you in 2025. Again, what is the podcast about? It's going to be about my experience in here. So we're going to start from the beginning. From January 16, 2018, when I arrived here in Dominican Republic, it was a little bit different for me. I didn't speak much Spanish, even though I hung out with a lot of Latinos in Florida, being from Florida, but it was just a culture shock, very differently. But this is where my destination was. Actually, no, I was on my way to Switzerland, but God had other plans, life had other plans, so I wasn't able to make that transition from Haiti to DR and then end up in Switzerland. And since then, I've tried a few different times, but again, it is not in my best interest or part of my journey right now. So here we are, it's still in Dominican Republic. So for me, I started off, different. I started off living in the barrios, what is like the hood here, because I didn't know no better. And the first thing that happened to me was I lived in a place called Zona Colonia. That is your most touristy place where everyone's going to go to. And you're going to meet people. You're going to meet tourism. You're going to meet locals. You're going to meet people that speak English. You're going to meet hustlers. You're going to meet everything. That's where I first started off. I got my first apartment here once I realized this was my new home. And after just a couple weeks of it, that apartment burned down, unfortunately, and I lost everything in it. But again, that's just part of the growth that I needed to go through, the growth that I needed to be part of, where people was able to not only see my triumph, but my overcoming. So again, that's when I realized DR was my place. And so from there, we've been here for almost 7 years. In a couple of days will be 7 years. And this has been my new home. A lot of great things has happened, from meeting great people to learn life lessons. We do all these type of things. Again, for me being Haitian, living in DR, as you know right now, DR is one of those places where they're not a big fan of Haitians. But me being me, working in tech, living in the places I live now, the way that I've traveled, it allows me to have a better lifestyle than most Haitians that's gonna come here legally or illegally, but also that's how I carry myself. And for other type of people that may live here, I know Colombians, I know Venezuelans, I know Canadians, I know Germans. Everyone have a different lifestyle. And again, that's what this show is gonna be about. We're gonna bring you those different lifestyles from different people and different perspective, and then we're gonna have these conversations. So, Haitian born, right now, there's a lot of deportation in the Dominican Republic. So I'll take this moment to touch on that. Here in DR, unfortunate what's going on, I'm not a big fan of, but I don't have the power, but I do have the voice to educate you all. So DR here is not allowing Haitian to receive visas to be here, tourism visa or any type, because they want to remove as much as they can, but at least allow the people that have success here, that bring revenue in here, that are working on all these fancy resorts and things that come to this country to have the opportunity to live here freely. And that's not the case. And for me in 2022, I believe, I actually was picked up by immigration here in DR and was dropped off in Haiti within 24 hours. Luckily for me, my visa at that moment was actually being processed, so I was able to receive it quickly and was able to return. But that's what's going on here. Someone that works for American company, that brings revenue here, that do all these things for this country. There's no difference between me and someone that enters the country illegally, as long as you're Haitian. So those are the fortunate obstacles that I have to deal with. But again, I make sure this is the place where I don't put myself in those predicaments, number one, or number two, I make sure to cover myself and whatever obstacle I come. So now, again, being here, I speak a little Spanish now, so I'm very happy and I'm very comfortable with my Spanish. But those are the things, if you choose to want to move to DR, that you're going to have to deal with. And those things like that. And creating my new lifestyle here, it was tough, because what happened is within my first few months here, back in 2018, or 2019, I should say, or 2018, my apologies, it was the first time in my life that I realized I was alone. I've been alone my entire life, but it was the first time where my day came that I said, wow, I really felt alone. So what I decided, that was part of creating this new lifestyle in DR, instead of feeling sorry for myself, that I was going to help people who were less fortunate than me. Because what? I still spoke English. I still was educated, and I still had more opportunities than someone that was living in the hood that had nothing. So when my birthday came in 2019, I went out and bought food. I prepped the food, and then I went out and tried to pass the food. It was not a great success. I can tell you that. It was not a great success, but I got the ultimate feeling that I was looking for. I was nearby where we're shooting this podcast. I was looking around nighttime, and I happened to see a mom and a son sitting on an overpath looking for something or begging for change. And I happened to have 2 plates of food in my hand. And when I walked close to them, they already saw me. It was like, hey, is this for us? And I was a big old smile, as you can see now, like, yes, it is for you. I gave it to them. And it was like, thank you, Millennial, thank you, Black, what that mean. And for me, it hit home. It hit so hard that when I was walking away, I became in tears and said, wow, that is what I want to feel like. I want to be the person that makes a difference. And little did I know it, when I first arrived in DR, I was able to stay with some friends. And the wife was a world journalist, and she actually did an interview with me. And you can see that interview on my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel. And I actually said I didn't want to feel sorry for myself. When this was just brand new to me, got dropped off here, still was lost. But I said in this interview when I finished was, I didn't want to feel sorry for myself. I wanted to help people, because that was my joy. And it is 7 years later, we have been working on this foundation, like really working on it for 5 or 6 years. And I love every minute of it. And that's what my new life is. And with doing those type of good deeds, I was able to go into tech. I was able to work remotely and build the life of a nomad. So imagine that, right? That I get dropped off, I don't feel sorry for myself, and I say I'm going to make a world difference. And I continue making that world difference by doing the things, by helping the people, by creating my foundation, Reasons to Smile. And I love to smile. So those are things that I want to do, and I want to educate you. Now, what about DR itself? Man, the people are vibrant. It is voted one of the world's happiest countries. Why is that? Because imagine on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when they get off, they're not going home to relax. They're going to go to the liquor store. They're going to go to the Kamado, and they're going to talk about their week. They're going to conversate with DR. They're going to play their salsa, bachata, merengue. They're going to be happy because they work. And even if they didn't work, but they can share that time with each other. And that's one of the best things you get about DR is the people. The people will either make you love it or make you not love DR. Some of my favorite places in DR is going to be Las Terrenas. That is the north part of the island. And the island, that part is beautiful. It's called Samana. And that part, I'm telling you, there's about 6 beaches within either walking distance, or if you have a 4-wheeler or car, within 5 to 15 minutes, depends on which beach you want to go to. That place, not a lot of tourists go there, but it is an amazing place to go. And if you see this podcast and you are thinking about coming and visiting DR, I believe this is one of the it should be one of your must-see places to go and visit DR. Now, how's the lifestyle here? The lifestyle in DR is, if you make decent money, we'll say you make $3,000 a month. You can make less. And you want to live comfortable, well, DR is definitely a place for you to be able to live that comfort. Why? Cost of living is a lot cheaper. My apartment, rooftop pool, social area, security, all these things I am paying $900. That same apartment in the States, living downtown of any state, doesn't matter if you're from Florida, New York, Georgia, it doesn't matter where you would live, that same apartment is going to be no less than probably $25,000 to $5,000. But so that's the benefit about living in DR, when your money's going to stretch a little bit longer. Your money is going to be more effective here. So those are the benefits about living in DR and about being a nomad. And if you're thinking about that, those are some of the things you wanted it. There's different parts of DR you can go into. You have Santo Domingo, you have Punta Cana, you have Barahona, you have, I already told you my favorite place, Las Terrenas, and then you have Santiago, you have La Romana, you have all these places you can go to. So you got to decide what lifestyle you want. Do you want to live in a city? Do you want to live on the beach? Do you want to still live on the beach and have the interaction with more Americans? Or what's that? That's going to be your options. Why? Because the country is actually segregated by different parts. So what I mean by that, Santo Domingo is predominantly Dominican, of course, but then you're going to get mixed in Germans, Colombians, Venezuelans, and then a lot of Americans with a lot of Haitians. That's what a lot of Santo Domingo is, and Canadians. But if you do go to Punta Cana, now you're going into your more Russians, Ukrainians, that part of the world, and then you're also going to get a heavy dose of Americanized, because that is the most resort space that you can get. So again, you're going to find different spaces, different things you want to go. And for me, I choose the capital, because if I lived in Las Terrenas, I would not be working. It's too beautiful, it's too peaceful, it's too relaxful. So I choose to stay in the capital. And Las Terrenas itself is going to be your more Canadians, French, and Italians. That's where that part of the island is. So every part of this country is segregated by different aspects, and you're going to decide what lifestyle is best suited for you and when you come in the DR. Now, again, for me, nomad, making the best of this opportunity, even bringing you this podcast so I can share with you my experience. My experience has been up and down, but at this point on this journey, I'm very happy with what my journey is. I started, first apartment, burned down. Second apartment, unfortunately, was broken into. Third apartment had a lot of miscellaneous. So that's why for me, DR has made me who I am, has toughened me up, has opened my eyes. This journey has turned me into the man I am today, and now helping people has become my true passion. So that's what DR has been to me. And I'm still growing, still learning, still adapting to the culture, even though I'm almost 7 years into the country, because it's a growing matter. It's you gotta know who to trust. You gotta know who's on your side and who is just simply out to benefits them. And that's the rest of the world. There's no difference. It's just here. This used to be a third world country, but it's no longer a third world country. This is countries thriving, which is why it's the #1 destination for tourism right now, is Dominican Republic. So again, this is where we stand. This is what DR is for me. And this is what we're gonna bring to you each and every week. Recently, I had someone ask me, what's your favorite thing about DR? I would say it's the freedom. You can buy whatever it is you want in DR. You want a peace of mind? You want to be catered to every day? And you want to buy love? Whatever it is you want to do in DR, it is possible if your bank account is true. So this show is truly that. What do I mean by that? If you're looking for love because you're wherever country you are, male or female, and you don't feel like you're getting the love that you want in your birthplace or your country of resignation, well, DR is the place. Because here, if you just want to buy love, that is something you can do. If you're looking for true love, that's also something you can do. And if you're single, you want to be like the passport bros, or you just want to come here and travel around backpack or resort style, hotel style, that's also the place for you. You can have every opportunity that you want in Dominican Republic. You just got to figure out who you are and what you're looking for. But I also will tell you this, if you have no backbone, or if you can't stand up for yourself, DR may not be the place for you, because it is a dog-eat-dog world. As much as you can get anything you want, it's just as quick you can lose everything you have. So take that into consideration. So for me, these are the things I want to bring you in DR. What's restaurants-wise, amazing. Depends on your taste buds. There's different people that say, hey, I don't like the food in the US. It's so bland. And they come here, they love it. They want to take it with them. And then there's people say, I have better back home. So again, everything is going to be different for the person that decides to make their life here in the Dominican Republic and what you're looking for. Dental care is cheaper. Cost of living is cheaper. Going out is cheaper. Everything else is cheaper, but there's obstacle that comes with it, and now where I am now compared to where I started, I'm truly blessed. I'm amazed by how much growth I've come to even be in a position to bring you this type of podcast that, again, where we're going to, not only from my experience, but from every guest experience that is from a different country, we're going to have this conversation. We're going to talk about what it's like for them, what they would want to change, what would they want someone else to know. So that's what this podcast is about, life in DR. And for me, what would I want to change? I would want to change how they treat my people, my culture, my descent Haitians here in this country. Other than that, if we can go past that, I think DR is a wonderful country. Yes, there's things that, unfortunate, we don't have control in, but that's one of the few things I would change in the Dominican Republic. So for me, where I started, as I said, apartment burning down, apartment being robbed, living in an apartment that just had missing things, and to living in a high-rise downtown with one of the best views in the city is because I'm a grinder, because I had lifestyle in the States, and I can't come here to feel sorry for myself or to live in a certain ways that's not fit for me. So I grind. I started off with call centers making 200 pesos, so that's like $4, and one of them was even less. I grind. And then I started trying to find ways to work for U.S. companies. I was able to get hired by a friend of mine, and he gave me the opportunity. I took that opportunity, created my own LLC and the trucking business. And from there, gas prices went crazy in 2020. 2022 prices went crazy. So I made the decision that, hey, you know what? I'm going to bet on myself, and I started marketing myself. And I met someone that was in the tech space, and they had a startup, and they told me their startup, and I really like what their startup stand for. It coincide with what I had going on with my foundation. So with that, I decided I'll take the opportunity. They gave me opportunity, pennies to the dollar, but it didn't matter because I believe in what they were doing, and I was able to help turn that business, that startup, into a company that had 2 employees to now where that company has 15 employees. The community had 200 people, and now it has over 800 people. So we're still working on that, but I also have my own projects going on as well. I'm hoping to bring a few different businesses into the DR to build my portfolio. So again, nomad, I'm here, many obstacles, but I made it my own. I made it the opportunity of a lifetime. I came here, I grind, I work, and now I'm building projects, as into Vibe Cycle. I'm building some other things that's going on. I'm working with real estate people to help connect people from the States into that. And main but not least, my foundation, something that means more to me than ever. We have many events coming up this year. We have next week, we're going to have a kids' day for the children of the campo I help in Monte Los Dios, which is a campo about an hour and 20 minutes from here, from the city. And we're going to bring them toys. It's a little late for Three Kings Day, but that was the opportunity, the date that was available to us to go. And we're going to make that. So no matter where you're from, no matter how life is going from you, you can make Dominican Republic your life. It's just going to be where you're at in your headspace. What are you looking for? And what's the outcome you're trying to get? Because it can be easy, but it can be also a lot of growing pains. And there are many communities to support you on this, but you got to get connected to the right people. So wherever you're at in the world, I invite you to visit Dominican Republic. Come see what all the hype is. Again, it's the #1 destination for vacation right now in the world. So is it the right space for you? You only can find out if you come visit. So that's a little rough graph about mine and my lifestyle and here and how this country is. I hope you like what you hear, and you will turn in for next week at Life in DR podcast show. I'm your host, J.R. Saint. As always, I love you guys. I am because we are. Everything you want in life, go after it. Don't settle for nothing less. I love you guys. I am because we are.